An earthquake with a preliminary magnitude of 7.3 hit northern Japan on Tuesday, the Japan Meteorological Agency said, generating a tsunami that hit the nation's northern Pacific coast. The U.S. Geological Survey initially put Tuesday's quake at a magnitude of 7.3 and later downgraded it to 6.9. But the Japan Meteorological Agency put the magnitude at 7.4. The earthquake, which was felt in Tokyo, was centered off the coast of Fukushima prefecture at a depth of about 10 kilometers, 6 miles, and struck at 5:59 a.m. 20:59 GMT, the agency said. The region is the same that was devastated by a tsunami following a massive earthquake on March 11, 2011. A tsunami warning for waves of up to 3 meters (10 feet) was issued after Tuesday's quake but later lifted. USGS said that it was a shallow earthquake, which tended to cause more shaking damage and had greater potential to cause a tsunami. The good news here is that the direction the fault was moving is a slight lateral slip. When the faults move laterally, they do not create the vertical movement associated with large tsunamis, the U.S. agency said. A 60 centimeters (2-foot) tsunami was recorded at Fukushima's Onohama port and a 90 centimeters (3-foot) tsunami at Soma soon after, a public broadcaster NHK said. Japan's chief government spokesman Yoshihide Suga said that a government task force had been established to deal with the quake and tsunami risk, and called on people in affected areas to evacuate. According to NHK also reported that tide levels were rising in some areas on Japan's eastern coast. Television footage showed ships moving out to sea from Fukushima harbors as tsunami warning signals wailed. The Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant, owned by Tokyo Electric Power (TEPCO), caused Japan's worst nuclear disaster when it was knocked out by the 2011 tsunami. TEPCO said on Tuesday that there was no damage to Fukushima Daiichi from the latest quake. All nuclear plants on the coast threatened by the tsunami were shut down in the wake of the 2011 disaster. Only 2 reactors are operating in Japan, both in the southwest of the country. But even when shut down, nuclear plants need cooling systems operating to keep spent fuel cool. According to NHK, TEPCO said a water cooling system for spent fuel at one reactor at Fukushima had stopped working for about 90 minutes after Tuesday's earthquake and that the temperature went up slightly. But the company was able to fix it. Tohoku Electric Power said there was no damage to its Onagawa nuclear plant, while the Kyoto News Agency reported there were no irregularities at the Tokaidani nuclear plant in Ibaraki.